Welcome back to Dice to Pixels. We're here with episode 20 for the second time tonight. I screwed up our settings a little bit, and that was Chad's fist in my face, which is where I like it.
Yeah!
And
it went to you.
Yeah, it went to you. And so we're going to start off. We didn't have anything to start off with, and we already filmed about 30 seconds of this a minute ago before I realized I had screwed things up. So the question was, is there a game that you only play with your family or with a specific group of friends that isn't Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah. There's quite a few that whenever Sarah and I go up to her parents' place, Mexican Train was one of them, a dominoes game where you have like the central base, which is basically your station, and it goes from blank to 12 on the dominoes, and whatever is your starting number, you have to have a domino piece with that number in order to start your track. And if you can't, you put a little train down so that the other players can play on your track and keep going until you're out of dominoes. And it's really fun. It can be loud. Some people, Cedric, like to play with their dominoes.
That's why Mom got the felt to go on the table.
But no, it's a really fun game. My first time playing it was when we went up north, and I love it. I love playing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
Yeah. Talking about people playing with their dominoes. One of the reasons
it sounds like it should be a euphemism for something incredibly dirty, but it's not.
No, it's just throwing fucking Domino's pizza like a frisbee. That's
okay,
right?
Yeah, yeah, makes sense.
Oh well, suddenly I'm on board.
I'm Captain Pete's America, and I have my pep and cheese.
Well, that's a whole nother marketing angle. No, they should do that.
You're welcome, Domino's.
The Captain Domino's Halloween costume. That'd be great.
There we go. Cosplay that, Chad.
So what I was going to say was whenever I play poker with certain people, they drive me fucking insane because they're constantly playing with their chips. I hate it. I want them to leave the table.
Yeah. I would be that person if I was playing poker too.
Yeah. So
the one
I feel
playing
pain
with the chips, not being annoyed.
Yeah, well, so, and like, don't get me wrong, like, I expect a little bit of it because, like, what else are you going to do? You got to do something. But, like, the people who just constantly clack them the whole game, I'm just like, oh, go to hell, I hate you. If that's you, apparently I hate you. So it doesn't take much.
Professional poker player, look at me go.
So I actually don't play. I asked you guys because I know that you do play games with your family.
There's several more, but
I'm curious, representing our audience here. Let us know in the comments or otherwise. I don't play games with my family at all, like board games or anything of the sort. It is incredibly rare. Even in younger years, my brothers and I would play when we were young, but like my parents very rarely got in on it. I mean, if we pestered them, they would play, but they never got into it. And I wonder how common that is. Like, I wonder if more people do or don't sort of have a board gamey relationship with your parents.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, with my family, it didn't evolve from like us as kids all playing and then our parents joining in. Like, my parents are best friends with their neighbors, so we grew up all together, hanging out together. And when we would all get together, all the adults would end up playing cards, usually a game called Hand and Foot, which I can't even begin to explain because I've never played it because it's so complicated. But like, yeah, it has to do with like runs of cards and sets and stuff.
I think I've heard of it, but I also don't have any idea how the actual rules work.
I don't know either. But so they would play cards all the time, and so eventually it just got to the point where us as kids grew old enough and we just started sitting down at the table with them and then eventually joined in on the game.
Interesting that you say that because maybe I wasn't being fair when I said that, because I do actually remember specifically playing a fair bit of cribbage with my mom and maybe my uncle. So I guess maybe that wasn't totally fair, but it was very limited. Like, it was like cribbage and I think hearts and maybe euchre, but like that's it. Mm-hmm. Like only the real like staple card games,
Yeah.
like the old person card games,
Yeah.
which all of which I like. I'm not bashing them. I like all three of those games, but
My high school used to have a euchre tournament every year.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to
High
play
school.
euchre. Yeah,
Yeah.
we used to play euchre in high school. Just like there'd be lunch periods where we'd literally just pair off and have like euchre tournaments and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely remember playing euchre in high school, but I feel like people were, no, that's the old person's game. If we're going to do a tournament, it's got to be poker sort of thing.
No,
so we
like-
would play poker with fake coins and stuff.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
actually had like a full tournament. It was called Euchre Till You Puker. and
That's
they actually
amazing.
had a plaque made up, and winner every year got their name added to it, and that
That's
was in
amazing.
the main hallway. Yep.
I was briefly on the, well, I guess not that briefly. It was a couple of years, but I was on the chess team for our school for a while.
Nerd.
Hey, look, I was in the math club and the chess team, and I started the debate team. So like, I was pretty fucking cool. Interestingly, I also played on the football team. So
Random.
yeah, no, I
Yep.
was a little all over the shop in high school.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of the card. One of my fondest memories was I was 4 or 5, and I remember my great granddad. Whenever I would go visit my great granddad and my great grandma, I would always play Crazy Eights with them. And my granddad, like my great granddad, was like he was a big dude.
Hang on, did you ever play Crazy 8 Countdown?
Yeah, I play
Oh,
that. We play that when we go up north to my brother's house with my niece. I'll watch. I've literally watched my niece and my brother play that, and then she was like, "You want to play Uncle Chad?" And it's like, all right,
Yeah, I got 4 hours.
yeah, sure.
Right.
But no, I remember as a kid, like as a young lad, playing Crazy Eights with my great granddad, and whenever he would play the card, he would slam it on the table, and I would geek out. I was like, oh, and he, and so then I'd try to do it, but it would just come off as like a mild fart,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
he's like, oh, you're a tough one, But like I remember that vividly, like playing cards again up north,
Mhm.
playing the card game version of golf, which is really fun, where you
I don't think
get
I've played that.
Yeah.
it's really easy. So you
so
play
fast
you
too.
play 18 rounds. You deal 4 cards to each player. Have them all face down, but you can only look at 2
Okay.
once.
Oh.
And you have to remember what those are. So then the card, there'll be a discard pile. Your goal is to have kings are wild, so they count as nothing. But if you have a pair, that counts as 0. So the goal is to have the lowest score.
Got
right?
it.
So you go through the game, whatever, and as people are discarding, like, okay, I got a 7, I had a 7, and I have a jack. All right, shit, I need to get a 7 and a jack. But you don't know what your other 2 cards are. So there's times where it's like, oh, well, there's a jack, I'll take it. And then, oh, God,
So-
it's a jack.
So do they discard face up then? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
So you can take from the
Okay.
discard pile. Yeah. Or you can pull from the
All right. That's
Yeah.
kind of fun.
it's a pretty fast game, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting. We
it's-
should play that.
It's really, really fun. It's
Yeah.
super fun. That and sevens. Sevens is another one that was really
Yeah.
fun as well.
What was that other game that we played with the dice where with the quarters?
Oh crap.
Oh, left,
Oh,
right,
left-
left, right, center.
Yeah,
Yeah. That was a fun one.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Like frustration. That's another one that we play when we're up there.
Yeah.
Isn't
God.
Pass the Ace something that we play sometimes?
I can't remember. I can't
I don't
remember.
know.
I know we played.
Sounds like a lot of card games.
Yeah.
We played
yeah.
Crokinole once. I loved it, but
Oh,
Interestingly,
yeah.
my buddy Aaron, who gets name dropped all the time. Hey, Aaron, I know you're listening. Found out that apparently a very Canadian wedding gift is a crokinole board. That's like the accepted sort of Canadian wedding gift. I'm sure it was wedding. I don't think it was anniversary. I think it was wedding.
That somehow doesn't surprise me because like I feel like maybe not as frequently now, but everyone's grandparents or like parents of a certain age always had one.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things that is accessible to build for people who build things, which obviously, especially back in the day, was everyone. And like a nice crokinole board will last you the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And apparently that's like a Canadian wedding gift, which is kind of cool.
Mhm.
I actually don't think that we have a crokinole board, which is something that I should get, because I like
Yeah.
crokinole.
I like crokinole too.
It hurts.
Crokinole, yeah, it does. The fingertip. If you don't know what the hell we're talking about, for starters, because I think it is a fairly Canadian game. It's imagine sort of curling, sort of like shuffleboard, if you know what that is, except in an octagon, and little tiny wooden discs that you're trying to get into, or as near as possible to a central hole. And you're just trying to knock each other's stuff out. It's basically curling / shuffleboard, except in a ring.
It's the kind of game
And-
that we will play in the igloo
Yeah, that's
after we
right.
have done our hunting for the season.
That's right. And you flick them with your finger, and by about 4 rounds in, your middle fingernail is starting to hurt.
Or if you're like me, you like put all your effort behind the first one, and then you're just sore constantly after that.
That works too. Yeah. There is a product that's like a crokinole like finger guard. They actually make one. I've seen.
I was
them
just
before.
thinking
like a thimble.
when you said that, and I'm like, a thimble. A thimble would work amazing.
Yeah, that's probably true. Except that it might go flying up.
But you can get leather you can get leather ones that
There you
like
go.
tie onto your finger.
There you go.
I was just looking it up.
This
Holy
is the
crap!
this is the quality content that people come here for.
The spelling of crokinole is bizarre.
Fucked up.
It's so weird. Crokinole.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those games it's one of those words that you kind of expect it to be spelled with like Q's and shit.
Oh.
And instead it looks like a 5-year-old wrote it.
Oh. It was invented in Canada.
Yeah, I knew
No
that.
surprise there. In 1875 by Eckhart Wetlaufer of Perth County.
Oh,
Wetlaufer. I
Right?
love that name.
And it was a gift for his 5-year-old son.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Who obviously spelled the name.
we're wet loafers.
Yeah.
Here's to all my wet loafers. I made this game for you all. Enjoy.
But yeah, it's a fun game. It doesn't take up all that much space, and it's a cool game to have around. It's
Mhm.
certainly fun. For me, like crokinole is up there with like cornhole. I really enjoy,
Yeah. Mhm.
except I always just called it bag toss, but
Yeah.
because I could never bring myself to call it cornhole. But I love that. It's a great game.
That's
It's horseshoes too, but horseshoes are, you gotta have a spot for it. Cornhole you can play
Yeah.
anywhere. So.
Yeah.
We used to have a horseshoe pit in our backyard too. We used to do small tournaments with that too.
Yeah.
Mm.
That was a good time.
Even at our wedding, we had a canjam, which is 2 black cans with a slit, like a slot, and about the same distance as like horseshoes.
Try and put a frisbee in them.
With a frisbee, yeah.
Yeah.
And you hit it and you get a point, but if you get it into the slot, I don't know if you win or if it's like 5 points or something. I can't remember.
It's probably Quidditch rules. You get some points and then win
Yeah.
the game, and then
Yeah.
win or
Yeah.
lose the game.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Oh, the big Jenga. We had
Yeah,
like
giant Jenga.
giant
Um,
Jenga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
That's
get
currently in our garage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You said
Yeah.
you were. Yeah. We're gonna
Yep.
we're gonna do a video with that at some point. We're gonna do something fun with that. We're still working out the details. But
Another game that we had
oh.
though too, which I'd never heard of. My parents suggested it because they used to play. They play it with their friends. It's called Skull and Bones, and apparently it's a Viking game.
Yeah.
You play with chunks of wood.
Yeah.
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 So actually, I was just gonna say, which is basically the same game, kind of ish. Pass the Pigs. I don't know if you've.
Yes, I saw
yeah.
that, yeah.
I'm gonna get. I want to get the big version of those. They make ones that are like chunky.
Mhm.
I want to get a set of those because Pass the Pigs is a fun little game.
Mhm.
I wrote an article about it for the website, which I have not been updating and need to fix that. So we'll get that. We'll start posting there again probably tomorrow.
I've been hella distracted.
Yeah, we've all been a little distracted. But Pass the Pigs is a really fun one because like you literally the small game, the normal game, is like it's basically 2 dice is what it is, except they're little pigs, and depending on how you land them, they give you points. It's one of the best games to just like have in your pocket because it takes no space at all. You can take it everywhere. But they make a yard version, which is much bigger, which is also super cool.
Yeah.
So.
Game I remember playing as a little kid, especially with my grandma, was Old Maid.
Old Maid.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, it's a deck of cards worth like The ones that we used to play with had like nursery rhyme characters on it, and you want to get two that match. You want matching pairs.
Oh.
So everyone playing has their hand of card, and you have to pull from someone else's hand.
We're chuckling at you banging your mic.
Well, that's one.
No, 3.
That's 3 already?
3.
Anyways, no, we're sorry.
Yeah.
Chad just started laughing, and I started laughing too. Old maid, continue. We're listening.
But yeah, you pull from someone else's hands of cards and pair it up. Hopefully, it pairs up with one of the cards from your deck, and if you end up with the old maid at the end, you lose. It was really simple. It's just a matching game for kids.
Yeah. I've played that game, except using like a joker or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a cool game, actually. I don't remember all the rules, but I do remember playing
that. My sister also used to play or cheat at Go Fish. Mom stopped playing with her.
I feel like every child on Earth, well, in the first world anyways, has cheated with Go Fish.
Okay, apparently I'm the only one that has not.
You've never cheated at
I
Go
did
Fish?
not cheat.
Not even with your siblings?
No.
Bullshit.
I didn't.
I don't believe it.
I was the good kid. My sister is a little terror.
I don't...
She said it. She said it.
You were a terror, Katie. You know it.
I believe you, but also I don't believe you.
If I did it unintentionally.
Sure. That's interesting. Yeah. I would definitely cheat with Go Fish. Not regularly, but there were times that I cheated at Go Fish for sure.
Go Fish.
Yeah, no, there was some hiding of cards, that sort of thing.
She didn't even cheat well. She just outright lied.
Yeah.
Wow, you're just holy fuck! I can see the tread marks on your sister's back right now. Like, that's how badly you've thrown her under the bus.
Laughing.
Oh, probably, but I'm Kate. I'm sorry. It's all her.
Actually, I told her to say it. It's me. It's all my fault.
Fucking dicks.
I'm the angel here.
Right.
So I hear this is breaking news. This is incredibly important stuff. Chad has been playing the greatest game collection ever made. He told us this before we started. You've been playing the Microsoft Solitaire collection.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
God. It's before I get to that though, I want to bring up just one more like games like Uno, Phase 10.
Oh yeah.
Phase 10 is a really fun game to play.
Look, all card games are fun.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I have a whole bunch in the closet over there.
Cool.
I'm not in the closet. They are.
Card games in the closet. So the Microsoft Solitaire collection. I've been trying to find like just a nice small little game to put on my phone that, if I need to kill like 5 minutes or on the crappy A, like just something that I can fart around with. And having Game Pass, I noticed like it's in the Xbox Game Pass. So I'm like, all right, well, I installed that, but then I put it on my phone. And holy crap, like I can't stop playing Solitaire.
I mean, Solitaire is a great game. I used to play a fair bit of Solitaire. I think it's called Spider Solitaire.
Yep.
But also talking about Microsoft game collections. Yeah, we have cats warring just off screen. The Microsoft pinball games that used to come with Windows. Actually, you know what? I should get some pinball games, especially for like maybe the Steam Deck.
That'd be so good for the Steam Deck.
Pinball FX 3 was freaking great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure that there's like I'm sure since the last time I played a pinball game, there's probably like 8,000 new ones. I should pick one up because I remember sinking quite a few hours into playing old pinball games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I liked Pinball FX. I think it was 2. When I had there's no spider up there this time.
I thought maybe I was being inundated again this week.
No, I thought I kind of caught something. Maybe like I was like, how the fuck did the cat get up there? Oh, it's just a piece of foil.
Yeah.
But I remember with the 360 when they had their Xbox Live Arcade, Pinball FX, I think it was 2 released on that, and I got it. Like I downloaded it for free, but like they're so the way they designed the way they designed them, it's like those old classic pinball games that had like the little LED screen, and it would show it, and you could change the perspective so that it was
yeah.
And they were fun games. Like the tables they ended up getting licensed stuff from Marvel and Star Wars and
So
Indiana Jones and all that crap.
So something that I had as a kid, props to my dad on this. We actually had a pinball machine in the house. Yeah, there was a pinball machine that didn't work at all. It was completely fuckered. And my dad he's essentially a computer engineer, like pretty much the rest of us. But he like went to university before that was actually a thing. So he's technically like an electrical engineer. And so he obviously knows his way around all of this stuff. So he brought this home, like it was free. I'm pretty sure it was free because it was completely fuckered, and spent an excessive amount of time like cleaning all the relays and replacing ones that needed to and everything. And like at the end of it actually worked pretty well. So for quite a while we had a pinball machine in the house, which was great, with the slight caveat that it broke down a lot and we had to fix it constantly. So it's one of those things where every once in a while I'm like, fuck, I should get a pinball machine. One of these days there's just going to be like a pinball machine sitting just out there because I love pinball. Like it's such a tactile game. I love it. It's super fun. That's actually one of the things that I miss about not really having arcades.
Same.
Yeah. Because I like a lot of the arcade stuff for me was like the Turtles, like Ninja Turtles in the arcade, playing with your buddies and shit like that. But even like fighting games, I remember like just from high school going down to the local arcade at lunchtime, and there'd be a crowd of kids around like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter 2 or something.
Yeah.
I always liked that old Star Wars game, the Vectrix one, where you were flying to the Death Star and all that. And
Chad, that was called Pong. That
too.
I don't know about that one actually.
It was like one of the first Star Wars arcade games, and it was like Vectrix. You sat in this big cockpit.
Oh, I do know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And they'd have like audio bits of the Death Star run, and
yeah.
And you'd beat the Death Star, and it'd blow up, and then you'd literally like boom, start again.
Yeah. I remember the bowling alley that I think I've talked about this a little bit previously on the podcast, but I remember the bowling alley that we used to bowl at. We were in like a league, a 5-pin league, and they had like a little mini arcade. And there was some games there. I forget what all there was, but I remember specifically there was a racing game that was just like the shittiest racing game, but because it was an arcade game, it was just better. So,
yeah, there was a lot of, and that was one of the things that I really kind of, it made it stand out, was that like the arcade experience was so, it was exclusive. You know what I mean? Like, sure, you could play like Street Fighter 2 on your Super Nintendo, but it's not the same as like the arcade version. Like, just graphically, it was pretty close, but.
Yeah, but like at the time, especially like the arcade machines typically were more powerful and everything else. Yeah. And even if the graphics were the same, the frame rate was better, all that good stuff. Yeah. And also, being able to play with the joystick, the really like solidly built joysticks and everything. These days, I feel like the gap is a lot smaller, which is probably part of why they don't really exist so much anymore. I was actually going to check when we were talking about this. I was just thinking a minute ago, does the Palladium still exist?
I don't know.
I don't know. I know in the bowling alley in Guelph there's like a larger arcade section to it.
Apparently it does.
Weirdly, like all bowling alleys seem to have arcades attached to them.
Yeah. Well, except for, I don't even know what the Owen Sound one is like, because I know there was like maybe 2 or 3 games there when I was growing up. They had the Jurassic Park pinball for the longest time, and I played the hell out of that one.
There's one in Brampton.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's the one that I went to a long time ago. And yeah, you could get like the all you can play card for like $100 or something. And there was just all kinds of stuff. But it does look like they've kind of gone more the Bingaman's route, maybe. Although they have VR there, which might be interesting, depending on what kind of quality it is. I haven't looked at Palladium in a long time. But I will say Bingaman's has a little bit of an arcade. It's not terrible. It's not very big, but it's not terrible.
I always like the Sports World one better.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I just want.
Was good.
Yeah, was good. Yeah. I just want. Okay, this is what I want. This is in our headquarters. All right,
Yep.
let's start specking out what our games room, our
Okay.
arcade at the headquarters, in 20 years is going to have.
You gonna tell us what you want, what you really really want?
What I really, really want. So okay, skee ball is a must for me.
Okay.
Have to.
Okay. Mhm.
Definitely a pinball game. Has to.
I want one of those basketball.
I was
free
just
throw
going to say
things.
Yeah.
almost certainly a basketball.
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably most of it for me. Probably like a really sick car sim. Doesn't even really matter what game it's running. Just like a good car sim would be super cool.
Mhm.
Like a decked out cockpit with say,
Yeah, just
Gran
like
Turismo 7.
An enclosed, an enclosed cockpit. Like honestly, the game itself is kind of irrelevant. It's
Yeah.
all about like that enclosed.
Well, the
good.
thing is too, like you just buy the shell, then you can put in whatever game
Exactly.
you want, basically.
Yeah.
Ooh,
What about you two?
Daytona USA, because that was so fun to play in the arcade.
Yeah, it's a little dated now, but I agree.
So
It was awesome. Yeah,
I would just play
you're not
Mario
wrong.
Kart
No.
in that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's why exactly what you said. You get the shell
Shell.
and then you put whatever the hell you want in.
Yeah.
Yep.
What about you? What's your like other than basketball? What's your must have?
Well, I need a pool table.
Oh, I was gonna.
Oh
Damn it.
yeah, I wasn't even counting that,
Yeah.
but yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
pool
Definitely a
tables.
pool
are a
table.
must.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6-player X-Men arcade.
Oh really?
The 6-player cabinet of X-Men arcade.
Okay. All right.
That because I only ever seen that once.
All right. I can respect that.
But every other arcade I'd go to, it was always the 4-player one. So the 6-player one would be cool.
Okay.
Air hockey.
I could go for air hockey. I feel
Actually,
like
no. You know
that's-
what? Rod hockey, table hockey, like rod table. The
Foosball?
No. Like the those
Oh,
table
yeah.
hockey sets
Mhm.
that had like the knobs and shit that you had to
Oh,
turn. And,
yeah.
I'm with
That.
Sarah. I'm with Sarah on this one.
Air hockey?
Air
Air
hockey.
hockey.
If we're going that route, I go air
Okay.
hockey
Mhm.
personally.
Mhm.
But foosball's fun. I
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
go foosball.
need a light gun game too.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that would be in the like because there's like the arcade light guns, which is an option. But then I'm also like at some point, do you just have that as the console? Because like obviously, if Dice to Pixels becomes a thing and we have a headquarters, we're gonna have console games.
Mhm.
So do you just play light guns with that instead? Like do you just buy the PlayStation gun and play there instead?
There was one cabinet at the arcade here in town way back that it was called Point Blank by Namco.
Yeah, I know.
But their handgun games, like the guns themselves, they had like kickback.
yeah, they were pretty cool.
So, and I remember playing this in the arcade and I'm like, holy crap, I can buy this on the PS1. And then I seen the gun con, I'm like, it's exactly the same
Yeah.
until I bought it and it didn't have the kickback.
doesn't
And I'm
have
like,
it, yeah.
it's not the same.
But that's easy to mod. We could mod that easy.
Yeah.
Um,
We also need black lights and those carpets that like light up under the black light.
we
like-
just want to know that the place is never clean.
exactly. Yes. We need some pop stains.
Who's been eating Cheetos? I see it.
Just a
all over the
smell of
goddamn buttons.
popcorn permeating it. Popcorn and sweat.
That's right.
Ugh.
All right. Well, here's the deal. All we need to do is convince Danielle that we don't need the home gym.
right.
And then we can just turn the rest of the area down here into an arcade.
Oh, there we
Done
go.
deal.
Yeah, perfect.
That'd be like our theme music would just be like, boom, 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 boom.
Oh, I didn't see you there. We were busy playing games. Super douchey YouTube intro.
Yeah, like, oh, hi.
Those are mine. What about you, Sarah? Any other like must-haves? Like we're talking like big physical games that you gotta like have
Yeah.
some space for.
Mostly just pinball. Like
Yeah.
I would play the hell out of pinball if there's a pinball machine around.
For sure.
Yeah.
I should get one. I wonder how much they are. Bear with me. You two, you talk amongst yourself
Yeah.
or
so-
don't.
Do 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 do.
Sarah's
I'm
our-
not sing the popcorn song.
Sarah's our
Popcorn.
hold music.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of some other games that like I remember playing the Double Dragon in the arcade, and it was so much better. Like actual Double Dragon.
Yeah.
That was fun. My buddy Jim and I would play the shit out of that like all the time.
You know what I'd almost go for is like a golf sim. like one of the driving
Oh, yeah.
simulators.
Mm-hmm.
Batting cage. Ooh, batting cage would be
Ooh.
fun. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I'm trying. Fuck.
None of this is a problem, by the way. We're never going to get successful enough that we can have this, so it's all
a pipe
irrelevant.
dream.
But apparently, pinball cabinets are like for what appears to be a pretty decent one, somewhere in the $1,000 range, which is like
Mm-hmm.
it's more than I'm going to spend on one, but it's not that bad. However, there are used ones, which I could be convinced of.
I think you can. There's like auctions and stuff for them as well.
Oh, for sure,
So you
yeah.
probably get them cheaper too.
Did you ever see those little breakdown arcade units that they were selling at Walmart for a time that had
yeah.
a certain collection of games in them?
Yeah, and you can still buy cabinets from time to time. Best Buy and stuff have them. They're not the same one.
Yeah, I'm wondering about the quality of them.
Oh, they're crap.
Yeah.
I figured as much.
The cabinet itself is crap. I have seriously considered on a couple of occasions building a cabinet, but every time I start seriously thinking about it, I'm kind of like, but the actual cabinet's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like, what am I going to do? I'm going to put either like a console in there, or I'm going to put like a Raspberry Pi running some games or whatever in there. It's like, I don't need the cabinet for that. So why bother, right?
It's like the NES cartridges that had like that much like chip on it, but it was that much cartridge.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Like don't get me wrong. If you've got like, if you're going for the look and feel, like if I wanted to build out a game room, different story.
Yeah.
Absolutely put the effort into building out the cabinet, make it fancy, make it look cool. We'd have like a Dice to Pixels like logo splash on it and everything. But like, that's all just for funsies. That has no bearing on the actual like value or functionality of it. But yeah, I would totally build one if we were building out a games room.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
It would be super cool.
Oh my
TPG.
God. I had one of these as a kid. I'll see about if I remember when I'm editing this, I'll put up a image of it. But you know those pinball games that are just like
Oh yeah.
they're like they're not
yeah.
much bigger than like an 8.5 sheet of
Yeah.
paper, and they're like handheld, and they just have the little plunger on the side that you pull
Yeah.
back. This one's like the 1950s astronaut pinball game, but it's just like a little sandwiched shadow box with a ball bearing in it that you like hit it and it bounces off some fixed plastic. I remember having one of those and I was like, this is so fun. I love this.
Remember like the little plastic ones that were probably just a bit bigger than the iPhone.
Yeah, the mini ones.
And
Yeah.
they had like water in it.
Yep.
Oh, those
And
things.
you'd,
Yeah.
same thing where you'd
Same
like
thing.
pull this little really finicky like switch down and it would launch this. And then the whole thing was like trying to get it to fucking fall into like the little points things.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember that. Yeah. Ah, man, there were so many good games back in the day.
Fuck.
You know, back when the world was young
Yeah.
That's right.
and you had to work for your games.
Yeah.
I mean, now you can just go buy an escape room in a box at Walmart too.
Yeah.
Yeah, which, by the way, don't get the exit games. They all suck.
Oh, good to know. Those are mostly the ones that are on sale.
Yeah,
there.
I'm probably being a little unfair, but I have a bunch over there.
Mhm.
At one point, I bought all of them, and I have not played one that I wasn't disappointed with yet.
Oh.
So I won't say that they're all garbage, but so far,
What did you find wrong with them?
there's a handful of things that I don't like about them. The biggest problem I have is that they're contradictory.
Oh.
So like the first one that I played, it gave you very explicit instructions, and it's like you must follow these instructions. And one of the instructions was that everything you needed was inside of the box. That I think it said like you can use a scrap piece of paper and a pencil. Everything you need is inside the box. And we were like racking our brains on like the 5th or 6th clue, and we're like, this doesn't make any sense. We've looked at this from every fucking angle. There's nothing here. Finally, we just Googled it. We're like, fuck this. We just Googled it. And it's like, oh, it's on the box. The clue is on the box. And it's like, okay, great. So just ignore your instructions then. Like if you're gonna give me like a full fucking page of instructions, they'd better be right. So that kind of soured me. And then I forget exactly the details of it, but the next one I played had something similar where it was just like the instructions were clear, and then the actual like solution of it required you to do something that was like expressly you didn't need to do. And it's like, I'm kind of done with these. They're not the worst, but you basically, if it weren't for the clues that are broken, I think they'd be pretty good. But every time I've played one, and I've played 4 of them now, we inevitably get to one of them, and it's not like oh, that was really hard and we didn't get it. It's like oh, well, that was fucking stupid. Like nobody would have gotten that unless they were paying no attention to what they were told to do. And so that was I've been super frustrated with them.
Yeah, you would think they would have caught something like that on playtesting, because it would just require adding 2 words into your instructions in or on the box.
Yeah, and I feel like they were like, ooh, well, we don't want to say on the box because then they'll get it quickly. And it's like, then don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
Come up with a better puzzle.
Or put it on the inside of the box. Then it's in the box.
I had the same sort of a problem, similar, not the same, there was a company, and I forget what the name of the company was, but they did escape room greeting cards. So the idea was not escape room, but like riddle sort of cards. And so the idea was you would send these to someone, they would go to a website, and then they would it would guide them through solving some problems on the website, and they'd have to use the card and the website. And if they got it, hooray, you win. Which is kind of cool, right? Instead of just sending someone a birthday card, you can send them a cool nerdy card. Except that I went and got the full set of them at the time. There was like 5. And the first one that I looked at had one of the problems that was just actually wrong. Like it was like I double checked it with 8 people, and then I sent them an email and was like, this is wrong, and basically got back yeah, we know. It's like, well, then fix it. Wow. And then there was another one where it was you were supposed to plot it was the classic, like, here's a world map, and here's some like flight destinations, and it spelled out a number. But one of them was like from Tokyo to New York or something. And it's like, okay, cool. So you go from here to here. And it's like, no. You go from here like the wrong way around the world. It's like, no. They would either go over the North Pole or that way. They would never go no flight in the world. It's like, so you have to intuit what they want you to do and ignore the actual problem, and then you can solve it, which, I mean, obviously I did. It was pretty obvious what they wanted, but it's like, if you're going to give me a problem to solve, make it at least a decent problem to solve. Yeah. So things like that, like they really annoy me. They annoy me more than they should, probably. I'm sure a lot of people would find like the exit escape boxes lots of fun and everything, but things like that really piss me off. So
yeah. I've never been one for like escape room stuff. I've never had the desire to do them. I've never really wanted to do one.
I really like escape rooms, as we know, but and I'm going to do one high.
I kind of want to be there for that.
Yeah.
I figured you guys would probably be on the crew. So did I talk about this live, on screen? Yeah. Okay,
was it on screen? I know.
Yeah. It was one.
In case anyone didn't catch it or whatever, if you're new. I've never done drugs before of any real sort. I've drank a little bit, but nothing like that. And so my plan is to get aggressively high on marijuana, which is legal here, by the way, and go and do an escape room. So for the first time, take it for the first time and go and do an escape room, because as I was explaining to Mila, one of Aaron's wife, if I'm going to do drugs, because I don't feel any need to do them, but if I'm going to do them, I want it to psychologically scar me. So I figure the best way to do that is to get loaded and then go and do an escape room. And so I'm going to give everyone that comes with me camcorders, and I'm going to wear a GoPro, and we're going to post the footage online. At least all of it that's like safe for work. I don't know what might happen, but I think that's going to be a blast.
Man, you're all like tripping out and we start doing the box trick to you. It'd be hilarious.
What I really want to do is that sweet escape room, which I bet is open by now. The one that they were doing, a huge escape room where you're in the RV and there's or you're trying to get into the RV and there's a twister coming.
Oh,
that one I think would be super fun.
So. Kansas?
Pretty much. Yeah. It's basically Dorothy, the escape room.
Oh,
but it looked really cool. So gonna try that out.
Cool.
Yep.
So,
Kind of building off of like the idea of escape rooms and like puzzle solving type thing.
Ooh.
There's a Kickstarter I found this past week called The Blackthorn Manor, an adventure puzzle book. And it's like the entire thing is a physical book, and it's solving puzzles, and some of them, the answers to some will be in the clues for the next one. And it will, I guess there's like a little bit of websiting and stuff like that. It seems really cool. So they have like a little demo that you're able to do, and it seems quite fun.
Interesting.
So,
Well, if it weren't a Kickstarter, I'd say we should play it. But since we wouldn't get it until next year,
Yeah.
maybe we'll back it.
I feel like talking about Kickstarter is going to be like an episode on its own for us at some point.
Yeah, we definitely are going to talk about Kickstarter at some point. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, the thing is, I don't think we have anything too groundbreaking to say. I think probably what we feel is what a lot of people feel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And like in a nutshell, it's stop using fucking Kickstarter. If you're a new company, great. But if you're established, stop doing that shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not every goddamn product needs to go on Kickstarter. So,
Yeah. Very true.
yeah.
Yeah.
So new game. I want to throw this out while I'm thinking of it. I just picked it up. I'm going to install it on the Steam Deck, like literally just before we went live. It's called Stealth, just Stealth, and it's on Steam for $2, $2.29, I think, Canadian. So $2 American. And it's basically a cross between sort of a labyrinth game and like an evasion game. So it's almost like Pac-Man and you're avoiding ghosts, except they're like guards with flashlights. And you're like escaping a maze, but dodging all the guards with flashlights and all the security cameras. It looks super fun. I haven't played it yet, and I already know I'm going to love it. So
Yeah, it
Mhm.
looks really dope.
Stealth. If you're looking for Adrian's lock of the week, there's this Simpsons episode where the sports
There's
guy
a
has like the
sports guy,
giant
yeah.
lock.
Yeah.
Adrian's
They-
lock of the week.
They had
Stealth.
different ones, and it's like my shoe-in of the week.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Loved that. That was Daddy Daughter Day.
Nice. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And Lisa she knew how to pick the winners.
That's right.
Yeah.
Did you wanna complain about?
Yeah, I've been playing the new God of War all week. It's basically been every night I've been playing this game. It's a huge game. I'm kind of annoyed with a design decision that they did. And spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers
Okay.
here.
They're not huge spoilers, but spoilers nonetheless. If you want to go into this with a fresh face, there are some sections where you play as Atreus. Now, I wouldn't have much of a problem with this, but the way Atreus's his leveling system is just strictly companion. So with Kratos, all of his weapons and armor and accessories can be leveled up to 9. 9 is the max level for anything. But with your companion, their weapon can only be upgraded to level 3. Their armor can't be upgraded at all. And they have these accessories that can also only be upgraded to level 3. Now, these Atreus sections are frigging long. And I found the second one to be really, really freaking, like, story-wise, sure, they're nailing home like a point plot in the game story. Great. I'm not going to go too deep into it. But it's too long. And it was at that point I had turned to Sarah and flat out said, like, holy crap, this is too long. And playing,
because you have no power is what you were describing to us.
pretty much, yeah. Like if the leveling system for Atreus had been the same as Kratos, then okay, great. I get it. Like you can, I mean, they're both demigods.
Yeah, it's the classic, like you're building up. It would be like in World of Warcraft or something where you like you get your level 60 gear and then all of a sudden you're nerfed back down to level 10. It's like, this isn't fun. I've already, like, if I wanted to be level 10,
Yeah.
I could be level 10.
Yep.
I'm not anymore.
Yep.
So yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Like I'm enjoying the game. I can kind of like attribute it to like Halo 2 when you play as the Master Chief, but then you play as the Arbiter. You're playing as different characters, but they're both the same. Like You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
one
there's no real difference other than the story and the skin.
Yeah, one isn't explicitly nerfed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that sounds pretty frustrating.
It's really annoying. Like for the story beats and the cutscenes that Atreus has. I mean, obviously, okay, sure, I get it, but it kind of sucks when like if that was going to be the case, then the second you start playing as him, that's when they should have made the design decision to be like, all right, well, we're going to make his gear now go from like 3 to 9 and give him like shit like that. But
anytime you're like interrupting the game flow to give you a worse character, like I think that's a stupid design decision. I agree. But not having played the game or otherwise, I can agree. I think that sounds like a stupid design decision.
But other than that, like I'm enjoying it. Like I like, apart from the Atreus bits, like I am enjoying it. It's more of the same. But I'm starting to see why some reviewers, because the last God of War was getting like perfect scores from a lot of reviewers, and then those same reviewers are knocking points off of it now, and it's like, well, if they're saying it's better than the first one, why is it not getting as good of a review score? And I think it's because of these Atreus sections that it's like, this makes sense now.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's hard to swallow that kind of a nerf.
Some of the story beats from what I've been kind of paying attention to, they're good for advancing the plot of the main story, but yeah, it does seem to drag on quite a bit in those areas.
And also too, the choice of voice acting for a lot of the Norse gods, I found really weird. Like it's completely Americanized, I guess you could say. Like Odin, Odin sounds like a Bronx comedian. Like he doesn't have like
not like a Nordic.
Yes, Odin. It's like, okay, now let me listen. Thor, I need you to do something. Okay, I need you to go over here. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what really threw me was the one dwarf that shows up. And she's got a southern accent, and she talks like this the entire time.
That's a little weird.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the one dwarf character, Brock, is hilarious.
God. Yes.
Oh my God, this guy's hilarious. Like some of the
he's got some great one-liners.
He drops F-bombs in here, but when he does, they're like hilarious. Just in the context of what he's like bitching about. But it's other than that, like because even Thor just sounds like a drunk uncle.
That's what Thor is, though.
I know, but like, there's no like, you know what I mean? Though, like typically, like in a lot of Norse mythology, like when you read or see any kind of media based on it, it's like how dare you, blah blah blah, and all that stuff. But this is just, it's a weird design choice, but I mean,
whatever.
Yeah. Sounds a little weird. So I've got something a little different here that I had forgotten about. I heard about this the other day. EVE Online.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So they released the Uprising expansion.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And they are back above 30,000 it was. Yeah, 30,000 active users simultaneous for the first time since... what was it, 6 years, so we're talking like mid 2010s, so like 2016 2017 sort of thing. Which is pretty incredible. But actually, so that's cool. You're like, oh damn. But what's crazy is when I actually looked into it, and I've got the graph up here, and I don't need to put it up or anything, but the actual like the game never stopped being popular. I knew that EVE Online, let's be clear, I knew that still a lot of people played it. But I thought that it'd like gone down to like a fairly steady, normal user base of a kind of old game. But like, it doesn't look like they ever really dropped below about 20,000 active users, which is fucking nuts. Like that, it's such an old game.
But people are so invested in it.
So invested.
Because it's
I still want to play EVE Online, but I can't get into it now. It's too late.
Yeah.
It's too late.
That's how I am with WoW.
Yeah,
I get how I feel going back to WoW.
That's why you got to play classic. Yeah. That's what EVE Online needs to do, is like a classic spinoff where it's like, hey, if you're a noob and you don't want to be part of like the intergalactic war that's going on, here's a new server.
Or just immediately blown up.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I feel like if you're starting Eve, and I don't know that this is true, by the way. I don't know the game well enough, but I feel like if you're playing Eve online, you've got to join one of the guilds, or you're just fucked. You can't just start Eve.
No,
and that's probably not true because I know you can kind of like do small mining operations and mind your own business and stuff. But still, I feel like unless you join one of the big boys, you're screwed anyways. Yeah. So
I've been trying lately to get away from playing like massive multiplayer online games.
Yeah.
Like that the one thing that I really like about the new God of War is that it's like a self-contained game. There's no microtransactions, there's no little extra added bells and whistles. I paid $80 for a game, and with the exception of a few patches here and there, I have the whole thing. Like it's
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I really miss that about.
I mean, that's how I feel about Morris Cave. 79 cents.
Greatest game ever made.
Greatest game ever made. Well, until Stealth. I mean, Stealth's the new one.
Ooh. Well, don't.
No, it's just looking at the quick intro video. It's going to be such a good game.
Especially if you can do it gyroscopically too.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun. Probably really frustrating, but fun.
It'd be more like those labyrinth puzzle games.
I had one of those where you twisted the knobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one of those. It was fun.
My one grandparents, they had one and I just got mad at it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. But so you found another game that you hate. That's good.
No, I don't hate it. I like it. I just, like I said, there's just that one part that I'm just like.
Yeah. Well, don't say anything about it now because I'm going to put up a spoiler alert earlier, so we won't reiterate.
I don't really think I spoiled much.
No, I don't think so either, but I'll put a timestamp in.
Yeah. We'll be considerate.
Yeah, because it's new. It's still new. But Morris Cave, though, we can spoil that. Or we could if I ever beat the damn game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
with the exception, it's like God of War and Microsoft Solitaire Collection. That's been my week.
Yeah, well, I told these guys, and I'll let the viewers in on how much of a life I have. Actually, it's just because it's been running 24/7. But I have caught up to the developers on Incremental Epic Hero 2. I've started hitting the wall where, in order to upgrade my temple anymore, like the temple building. It literally one of the line items to like unlock the upgrade is just stay tuned for future updates. So like I can't move any further. There's still some more progression I can do, but like I'm up against the wall for progression. So,
you need to write a review in there and just put in your number of hours played and be like, why isn't this finished?
Not enough content. I'm in 900 hours. Why isn't there more? Actually, what am I in? It's got to be around there.
Oh, God. It's
probably right around 900 to be fair. 874. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just about 900.
Nerd.
and proud of it.
Yep.
Interestingly, though, I got to say, I've only unlocked 14 of the 31 achievements. So, yeah.
Well,
damn.
You haven't also been actively going after them, I assume, then.
No, not even a little bit.
Get good, scrub.
Right?
Get good, scrub. Well, when you put it like that, actually looking at these, I'm not even sure you can do all of these right now. So, but that's been what I've been playing. I have not gotten a chance to play all that much in terms of games this week, but played some Letter Jam with some friends on the weekend there. Still love that game.
Yeah.
It's a great game.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were discussing briefly earlier some favorite games, and I won't say too much because I actually think we can probably talk about this in a future episode, but it's a really good game, and one of the other games that I really like that's in the same sort of light social deduction aspect is Clue. I'm a fan of those like fill in the blanks games. So
cool.
Yeah.
What have you been playing, Miss Sarah?
I've been sinking a bunch of time into Lonely Mountain Downhill this week.
Do go on.
It's would you say the graphics are a little poly? Is that what the design is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a low poly game. Actually, it was Kickstarted.
What kind of game?
It's literally just riding a bike down a mountain.
Okay, that's what I figured it was.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
No, it's great. Like there's no music to it at all.
Are we talking sort of like Excite Bike sort of thing, or like are there obstacles and stuff that
Yeah,
you're
there's like
jumping
rocks
off of
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's all like natural settings. Like there's not like man-made structures in there.
It's you versus the mountain.
Basically, mountain wins a lot.
Yeah, well, I feel like that's kind of the point of those games.
Yeah.
Is it like are you expected to get down a track, or is it just like an infinite run?
No, it's a you get down there's different trails. So at this time there's 4 different mountains. I think it's 4. There's at least 4 different mountains. Each one has 4 trails on it. And you start each one just by going through and hitting all the checkpoints and getting to the bottom of the mountain, and then that unlocks different challenges of beginner, intermediate, and then like expert, and then there's what's it called? It's basically just a full run. You have to do a perfect run without running into anything and dying. Otherwise, you just start at the top. Basically.
Cool.
But yeah, and with that, like with the different levels, you have time limits to get down in order to get more bike parts, and they'll do like 18 or fewer crashes on this run. And
so you like build up your bike as you play, sort of thing?
Well, there's different frames and there's different paint jobs, but there's also like 6 different frames at a bike. So yeah, it's a good time. And they're in, I think, season 18 right now. And so the different skins that you can unlock for the outfits you wear are all like Marvel inspired.
Oh.
So yeah. So I've been playing that, and also I got a beta key that I don't remember signing up for a game called Soccer World.
I think it's because we've made it. I think people are like...
Oh, yes, sorry. Soccer Story. Don't... Yeah.
I think companies around the world are like, oh, these Dice to Pixels guys, they know what's up.
Yeah.
For our friends across the pond, it's Football Story.
There's actually that's part of it too, is it flips back and forth between calling it soccer and football.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it's pretty cute actually.
I hope there's like judging in the game where it's like, yes, I want to go to soccer camp.
Oi, it's football, you fuck.
Well,
I hope there is that too.
Well, the main plot of the story is
the main plot.
The main plot.
They want to destroy the field.
You're fired. But the field was destroyed in a calamity. Yes, in a soccer calamity. And so playing soccer has been illegal for several years. But then within the last...
It's footloose.
Good night, folks.
Yeah.
I had to.
No, it makes sense.
That's cool.
It's an RPG about soccer.
That's kind of wild.
So bizarre, and it's actually quite fun so far.
I was just looking through some of my games to see what's been updated, and actually Escape Simulator has gotten a handful of updates since the last time I played. I'm gonna have to check it out, play some more, because that's actually a game that I really like. Escape Simulator, some of the levels are shit, but the community user made rooms, so like a lot of them are amazing. And there's just so many of them, so that's a game I really like. Cool. So gonna check that out some more, but first I gotta play through Stealth like 80 times.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, and you'll tell us about it next week.
Yeah, well, just before we say goodbye, because I think we're saying goodbye here, but real quick, I'm gonna print off, and we are gonna play the earliest game for which we know rules. So there's I believe it is Egyptian, maybe. It's called U-R, and
I think it's Mesopotamian.
That would make sense. Yeah, it's pretty old.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's right.
Yeah. 2-player strategy race board game.
There you go. I'm gonna print off a copy, and we're gonna play through it, and we'll let you know how it is. I suspect it's gonna be fairly simple, is what I expect. It looked like you rolled a die and moved that many spaces, is what it looked like. So
cool.
Yeah, but we actually, in theory, know the rules of it, and we can print off a board. So
I love it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
If you're hanging out with us and you like what you're seeing, go ahead and hit that like button, the subscribe, and join our Discord if you're into it. And we'll see you on the next one.
Bite.
Well,
Hard.
we'll bite as hard as you would like.
Yes.
We love you all. Thanks so much. See you on the next one.
Have a wonderful day, everyone. We love you.
Totally.